Hello everyone, this is Lori Skinner and I am with thiscraftersdream.com. Today I am starting something new. It is a series of cards that I'm going to do every week called Man Card Monday. I've kind of noticed that a lot of the cards that I get the biggest hits on my Pinterest page is my masculine cards. And I know people struggle with creating them. So I thought this would be a perfect series to do, just to show different ways to utilize the stuff that we have to create, cards that are good for all the wonderful men in our lives. This one I created using the Rooted in Nature stamp set. This is a stamp set that you get 2 packs of stamps. Let's see. And then there is matching dies that go with it. There, I believe, let's see, there is a die for everything in these stamps except for the trees and, of course, the words. But for all the images, there is a coordinating die for it. So we are going to make this card. The inside, I just stamped with the I'm not sure what kind of leaf it is. I think it's some sort of an oak leaf. I'm not sure, but I thought it looked nice. Okay, so what we're going to do, today we're going to use Early Espresso, Crumb Cake, and Old Olive. Okay, let me put this stuff aside. First thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp our tree, and I think it's just a stump. We're going to stamp everything we need to cut out. So for the tree, since I do not have an Early Espresso Stampin' Up marker, I'm just going to take my stamp and the corner of my stamp pad, and I'm going to tap it onto the tree trunk. You can see, if you hold it sideways, you'll be able to see where you're adding the ink. Perfect. And then we're going to add some Old Olive to the tree. That looks good. This piece of paper, I'm just going to stamp everything on it, and let's see, it is 3 inches by 7.5. So you just need a 3-inch strip of cardstock for this. And now to get, see how on the tree trunk it has the bark image and then the center? What I did was I used a Stamparatus. Let me get this on here where I want it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what I did first is I stamped the center in Crumb Cake, but this was the first one I did. No, that's soft suede. Let me grab the Crumb Cake one. This is the full, no, that's not it either. Here it is. This was too dark for me, so what I did was you see what I did before. I stamp off once so I get a little bit lighter image, and then I took my Crumb Cake Stampin' Up marker to create the darker center to the tree trunk. Just take it and make a swirl in the center. Now I stamp it. See how it just looks a little bit like a trunk in the center. So to create that outline, I did it a couple different ways, trying to find the easiest way. If you have the Stampin' Right marker, it'd be easier just to write around the edge. You could also use ink and a blender pen, but I just take my lovely Simply Chamois and I just wipe some of the ink off. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing in nature is perfect. And when that happens, add a little more ink. And wipe. And don't worry about if it's not a solid image. Nothing in nature is perfect. And voila, we have tree bark. Okay, no, I love that. So we can take that off. We're done with the Stamparatus. Okay, so what we need to do now is, I'm gonna cut this out real quick. Let's shoot. We're gonna use the little mini Stampin' Emboss. And there's my plates. I love this little one. I find it a lot easier to work with on just smaller pieces like this. Just line it up. Okay. Let's run it through. And we have our oak tree. Okay. That's it for the mini boss. This thing is nice. If you don't have one yet, it's $60. And I find myself using that more than I do my big one now, which is surprising. I only use my big one now when I need an embossing folder. If it's a bigger die, then I pull out my bigger one. But other than that, I use my small one. Okay, so I am going to fussy cut the tree trunk. Remember, when you cut, you hold your scissors in one hand and you turn the paper with your other one. And it does not have to be absolutely perfect. I usually do most of the fussy cutting offline, but there's only one. These paper snips work really good for the fussy cutting because they're super sharp. Okay. Now we got the tree trunk. Let's go ahead and stamp. We're going to stamp this Be Strong, Be Happy, Be You. And what I did was I stamped it in 3 different colors and just cut it out. So let's see if we can get all 3 on this. If your paper was the full 8.5, you would have plenty of room to do this. And then once you stamp this, you would have 2 other sets of words to make 2 more cards. So by stamping these words, I guess I need to re-ink. By stamping these words, you could get 3 cards. And early espresso. Okay, let me grab a scrap. Here's another one. Didn't quite have enough room. That's all right. We always have scraps laying around. Okay, close these up. Let's see, I'm going to need the crumb cake. Okay. So to cut these, I don't make it, it's not too neat. I just cut little strips. I don't care if they're not perfectly even. Oops. Let's see, be strong. And I had more somewhere. I wonder where I put them. I had some already cut. Not sure where I put them. So I guess I will just cut all these off. Okay. Get all these cut. This is one of those cards that it could be really for anybody. It just doesn't have to be a masculine card. Be for somebody that just loves nature. Okay. Okay, so that's all done. Okay, so we have all those parts. So now we have our card base is 4.5 by 11. And then I score it at 5.5. We have, this is a 4 by 5.25 layer, and this DSP is 2 by 5. And this is the Neutrals Designer Series stack paper. And we have our crumb cake. And we're going to take this leaf image and we are going to just randomly stamp. A lot of this won't show, but I just like to stamp the full thing like it would be showing, just so I have a nice balance. Okay, that's good. Okay, we're done with the stamping. Now we have our twine. We're going to use that after we lay this all down. Put my glue. We're going to glue this straight down. To the top, making sure that we have even cardstock edge on the left. Okay, then I glued this down. Okay, now we're going to add some twine, well, some linen thread, not twine. So I leave a tail off the edge because that's what I'm going to use to tie a bow with. Wrap it around 3 times. We'll leave another tail. And then we're going to tie a bow. Let me straighten this. Got this all cattywampus. Okay, now it's tight. If you need to, you can tie it. Sometimes when I'm working with the linen thread, I'll hold my finger there and I'll tie a knot. So then that way it gives me time that afterwards, when I'm done with the card, I can tie the knot. I mean the bow. And it gives me time to move it around to where I want it. Okay, so now we're going to add the tree. I'm going to use dimensionals for that. I'm going to use a small one, a mini one on the trunk. And then the regular ones on the trunk. I mean on the canopy. I think I want this down a little more. And see the dimensionals kind of hold it from the trunk, holds it in place. So now we have, let's see, be happy, be you, be strong. And these have the mini dimensionals on the back. They fit just perfectly. If you don't have mini ones, you can cut the regular ones in half, and that'll work as well. I just keep both of them on hand because it's just easier. Okay. Be happy. Be you. Oh, the be happy is crooked. Okay. And be strong. Tie bow. And then lastly, we will add it to the card base with some dimensionals. Make sure it's going the right way. Not gonna lie, I have put cards on upside down, with card fronts on the card bases upside down many a time. Center this layer to the card front. Let's see, and I'll go ahead and stamp the envelope in the inside just so you can see what I did. Let me grab a... I keep these layers cut for the inside. I just have a stack of them that I keep cut in this old Project Life box. It's perfect. It fits them. I just keep a stack of these cut, very vanilla and the basic white. So all I have to do is grab them and make them. Or if I make a mistake, I can just grab another one. Okay, so for the inside, I just took that same leaf that I used on the inside and I stamped it in Old Olive. And I just inked it up and then stamped, rotating it around. And then do the same thing to the front of the envelope. I like to keep the inside, oh, I just stamped it up again, didn't I? When I make cards, I like to keep the inside blank until I know the occasion that I need the card for. This one could be for anything, actually. I think it needs a little bit darker. There we go. And there you have it. It just adds a little something to the card. When somebody gets a envelope in the mail that has the front of it all nice and stamped up, just makes them excited. Can't wait to see what's inside. Okay. Sorry if you hear my dog. He likes to bark. He hears the UPS truck driving by. Even if it's not stopping at my house, he barks. And now Amazon has trucks that sound like UPS, so we hear them several times a day. Okay, so there we have it. Here is the first cards for a Man Card Monday. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again next Monday. Thanks for joining me. Bye.